James Bell of the Boxing Source here with another video, and this video is to talk about the news that came down earlier today from the WBC annual convention in Cancun, Mexico, as they made the announcement that Vasyl Lomachenko, who won the WBC lightweight championship by defeating Luke Campbell, is now elevated to franchise champion. That's right. He has been elevated to be the franchise champion in the WBC, making number one contender and mandatory to the WBC championship, Devin Haney, as now the WBC World Lightweight Champion. This is one of those announcements that the WBC has made before, as we know that they had elevated Saul Canelo Alvarez to become franchise champion in the middleweight division, making Jamal Charlo the WBC world champion. But here at lightweight, you have Vasyl Lomachenko, who had come into his fight against Luke Campbell as the WBA and WBO lightweight champion, got the WBC championship, and had the inklings that he would later fight for that IBF championship between the winner of Richard Commey and Teofimo Lopez next year, to see if he would become the undisputed lightweight champion. But now, with this announcement coming down, you have Vasyl Lomachenko as a WBC franchise champion, making him ineligible to become the undisputed champion at lightweight. And this comes down as a very disappointing, news for some boxing fans, because if you think about what had happened over the course of this year in the lightweight division, yes, you have Vasyl Lomachenko coming into 2019 as the WBA and the WBO champion. And when the WBC had their world championship vacant, as you had that being vacant since Mikey Garcia moved up to 147 pounds to fight Errol Spence Jr., then the WBC had later on down the line this year made a announcement to have a little bit of a tournament of sorts, to try to see if they could make a world champion come out of that particular tournament. They had four contenders that were out there that would have been eligible to fight each other, and then the winners would go up against each other to fight for that WBC championship at lightweight. You had Devin Haney, you had Zora Abdullayev, you had Luke Campbell, and you also had Teofimo Lopez. But what ended up happening was the WBC had been, convinced by Bob Arum and Top Rank that they could have that vacant lightweight championship between Vasyl Lomachenko and the top-rated contender at the time, who was Luke Campbell. And we know that Lomachenko was able to defeat Luke Campbell by decision to add that WBC championship to the other two titles that he had. And then you had later on down the line over in the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden, Devin Haney against Zora Abdullayev for that mandatory position. And Devin Haney ended up blowing out Abdullayev, winning that fight and becoming the mandatory for the WBC world title. But if we had, kept up with what was going on over those past few months, you kind of like had those hints that Vasyl Lomachenko, or in particular Bob Arum, did not want Vasyl Lomachenko to fight Devin Haney for that WBC championship. This had happened even before all of this stuff was going down, where Devin Haney would eventually fight Zora Abdullayev for that mandatory position, and with Vasyl Lomachenko winning that WBC lightweight championship. And now, this announcement coming down from the WBC annual convention pretty much solidifies that Arum did not want that fight to happen between Lomachenko and Devin Haney. And now Devin Haney is the WBC lightweight champion, with Vasyl Lomachenko being the WBC franchise champion. And that pretty much nullifies any possibility of an undisputed lightweight champion happening in 2020. You may still have Lomachenko fighting the winner of Richard Commey and Teofimo Lopez next year, but it will not be for the undisputed titles. And if you kind of know the whole little situation with that WBC franchise championship, it's not like anyone can really win that championship if they defeat the guy who is held as franchise champion. So that makes things a lot more muddier in the lightweight division, considering that, like I said, Devin Haney is now the WBC lightweight world champion. Vasyl Lomachenko still holds the WBA and WBO belt. You'll see in December Richard Commey versus Teofimo Lopez for the IBF lightweight championship. And you also have Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Yuriorkis Gamboa in the lightweight division, and the winner will be solidified as the mandatory contender for the WBA lightweight championship. So all of that stuff has pretty much tried to sort itself out in the lightweight division, but in 2020, we will not have a fight for the undisputed lightweight championship because the WBC makes Vasyl Lomachenko their franchise champion. And it's a big disappointment there, but going off of what we had seen with Canelo Alvarez, and in the boxing circles, they say that Vasyl Lomachenko may just be the next guy to be the franchise champion, and there may be another fighter that may be elevated to franchise champion later on down the line. So be on the lookout for that. That's all I have for this particular topic. You can subscribe to the Boxing Source on YouTube and catch the Boxing Source radio show Sundays at 7:30 live on Blog Talk Radio. And on that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.